Hello everybody, I'm Miner DeLuna and welcome back to my channel. And oh, did a pig just drown behind me? I don't know what happened there. I might have to go and check that. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about a biology project of mine. And wait, don't click away from the video yet because I'm not going to be talking about biology today. This is a biology project, but it's not a biology video. This is a Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be going over how I built this huge thing behind me and giving you some tips and tricks that helped me out and hopefully will help you out if you are going to be doing any creative projects anytime in the future. So, right now I am in game mode 1. I'm going to switch out of that real quick so I can show you the inside of this thing. Wait, actually first I'm going to show you the key here. So if you want to pause the video, oh, our guardian has despawned, but there used to be a guardian in that little spot right there. If you want to pause the video and look at this, then you could take a look at that. But this is not about biology. Again, this is about building this thing. And so, first of all, I have a couple of machines here to turn the outside of this visible or invisible. Because the thing about this, this is a cell model. A 3D model of a cell, the tiny little things that make up you and me and just about every other living creature. And so here we have two little command blocks that will turn the outside of this invisible or visible, because the outside of this is the plasma membrane. The outside of a cell is called the plasma membrane. And the thing about the plasma membrane is it's so thin that you can't really see it. So right now it's invisible, and you can't see it because it's like that's supposed to be symbolic of the fact that it's really so thin that you can't really see it unless you look with a really powerful microscope. So if we make it visible, now we can see it, and it's loading in slowly because that is a relatively big command. Now I'm going to go into the command block and show you how this is done. When it's invisible, it's actually barrier blocks. So here you can see I've used the fill command. So the way you do it is /fill and then the coordinates of one corner of the area you want to fill, and then the coordinates of the opposite corner. Then if you want to replace a certain block by a certain other block, then you write the block you want to be there. Then you write I think this is the data value here, 0, so I just want the regular glass. And then I want it to replace barriers, so that's why it says barrier 0. And then here I just have the opposite. It says barrier replaced glass. And so if you press this, if you press this, it will make the plasma membrane invisible again. Now the iron bars are the cytoskeleton. We won't go into that. But if I go into game mode 3 now, I'm going to show you around this thing and show you some of the things I used to build this. So first of all, we have the ender chests here, and this is just a cool little detail. Can't open these in spectator mode, so I'm going to go back into game mode 1. This is full of gray stained glass panes that tell you this block is a peroxisome, because that's what the ender chest represents. And I'm not going to go into what that means, but like this is a cool little trick if you want to make every single slot of an ender chest tell you something, then you can just fill it with gray stained glass panes. You have to rename the stained glass panes, but then they'll be invisible and they'll just tell you whatever little message you want to give. And so then down here we have creepers, which represent lysosomes, and they are not drowning because they have little air pockets inside these boxes. And so I used a command to fill this whole area with water, and I didn't want the creepers to drown, so to make sure that these weren't air spaces, I left some string here. So this is not air, it's string, and so the blocks were not filled with water, so the creepers didn't drown. Now, like I said, I used a command to fill in all this, and so I basically replaced air in this area with water. And so I had to figure out all sorts of little tricks to find ways to protect the bits that needed to be protected from the water. For example, these rails here, these rails are used to carry around these mine carts, chest mine carts, which carry the fish and pork chops from the pigs and the polar bears, which we'll get to in a second. But the rails I needed to figure out a way to protect, and so the way I did that is by putting glass panes around. And see, the problem is on rails, mine carts can go up when there are blocks above the rails, but they can't go down. So I had to find a way to put something above the rails that would block the water but would not block the minecart, and so that is signs. So if you ever need something that will block water but not minecarts, you should use signs, and that's what I did here. It took a little bit of testing and trying stuff out, but it works. And I also needed to use glass panes to protect this little bit of redstone here. Oh wow, that looks really cool when you float next to it in spectator mode. And so yeah, that's just some little tricks I used for stopping the water from getting to those bits. Also, we have guardians here that represent ribosomes, and they are actually renamed to ribosomes because otherwise, if you don't name an entity, it will eventually despawn. So I have them named so that they won't despawn, because before I didn't have them named and they did despawn. So just make sure if you're going to have entities somewhere, you might want to name them. Also, slimes can spawn in super flat worlds, and so in my opinion that can cause a lot of lag. And so to stop that lag, what I did is I just have a command block here on a clock, and it just says kill at E type equals slime. Now you gotta be careful, because here there's a space. There's no space. If you put a space there, then it will kill all entities, including yourself. So don't do that. Please don't do that, because that's a bad idea unless you want to be constantly killed. Going back into game mode 3 here, we are going to take a look at these command block minecarts, because if you didn't know, command block minecarts exist in Minecraft, in vanilla Minecraft, and they will activate when they pass over an activator rail. This right here is an activator rail. It can be found in the creative menu. I don't know if it can be crafted, but I don't know why you'd want to craft one anyway. It needs to have a redstone block underneath it to activate, or some form of redstone powering it. And these command block minecarts, what they do is they spawn in pigs and polar bears inside this cell model, inside this part, which is called the rough ER, and this part, which is called the smooth ER. So the smooth ER produces lipids, and fish are a good source of lipids. So since polar bears drop fish, I thought I would spawn in fish, and they drown, and the rough ER produces proteins, and pork is a good source of protein, so I decided to have pigs in here because they drop pork. And so then the pork and the fish is collected in these hoppers, and it goes down into the minecarts, which I've talked about already, and then it's cooked in these furnaces, which is supposed to represent the Golgi apparatus, packaging and processing the items, and then this dispenser over here spits them out, and this represents the finished products of the cell, the stuff the cell produces. Also, a little fun fact you may not have known, I have these guardian traps here, where basically I have, well, this one appears to have despawned, but I have one glass pane in front of this hole here, and one glass pane behind. Oh wow, that looks creepy. And so the glass panes keep the guardian from swimming out, even though there is a space here that I can go through. Oh, and look, there's a pig drowning. Sorry, piggy. I do feel cruel about drowning these guys, by the way, but it had to be done for science. Yeah, I do feel bad about that. And so yeah, that's just about it. So basically, the important facts to be noted here are use glass panes and signs to protect redstone and rails. Use command block minecarts over activator rails if you want to have something done repeatedly. It's sort of like a redstone clock, only better. That is, if you're okay with using cheats, because you can only get a command block minecart using a command. Use glass panes to trap guardians wherever you want to trap them, like this. And use commands to fill and replace a certain area with blocks. And use a command block machine if you want to get rid of slimes in your world, because they're very annoying. I think that's going to be it today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, because I will be posting them every single Friday. Promise. Promise, promise, promise. I will be posting every Friday. And, please leave a comment with a video idea if you have a video idea for me, and yeah, I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.